What's up, good people? So there's been new revelation in light of the Carlisha Hood shooting incident. And I figured I would touch bases with y'all about this and talk more about this, and also talk, most importantly, about individuals such as Dennis Sperling and other black male content creators who jumped on to the bandwagon of lies concerning the Carlisha Hood shooting. It is very, very disrespectful and very, very sad to see how easy it is for some black males on social media to try to assassinate the character of black women, even though they're seeing evidence to the contrary. So, as we all know, Carlisha Hood goes into an establishment, a restaurant of sorts, late night in the south side of Chicago to order her food. An argument breaks out. Now, in the interview that recently came out, Carlisha Hood was interviewed, and she said that the argument simply stemmed from the fact that the people made her food wrong, and she wanted them to correct what they had done wrong and fix her food, as she should, in my opinion. So, in light of all of that, things were getting slowed down. The line got slowed down, and apparently the individual who was shot and his girlfriend were in line behind Mrs. Hood, right? So, lie number one that has been disproven is that Carlisha Hood told her son to go get the gun and bring it into the store. This lie has been disproven, okay? Now, if there were evidence, and think about it, if there were evidence from the police's perspective to prove that she had done that, then maybe she wouldn't be out of jail right now, right? But in the interview, Miss Hood did say that that never happened. She never told her son to go in the car, bring a gun, or do anything of the sort. Okay. Her son was at the door. Now, what does the video show? The video shows during the argument, Miss Hood is actually instructing her son to leave the establishment, to go back to the car. But somehow, a lot of these some black male content creators, such as Mr. Sperling, come to the conclusion that this woman wanted her son in the store to shoot this man to death. Okay. Wrong. Okay. Completely wrong. Okay. So lie number two that's been disproven is that Carlisha Hood disrespected this individual who was shot. And I've been trying to figure out the last couple of days from anyone, what was it that Miss Hood did that was wrong? What was it specifically that she did that was disrespectful? And what I've found is that whole conversation, that whole argument of that she did something wrong goes back to this idea that when a black woman is being disrespected by a man, particularly a black man, that she should submit to him. What do I mean by that? The individual had his fist balled and says to her, "On my dead grandma, if you say one more word, I'm going to knock you out." Men are saying the fact that she kept talking, not yelling, not with a hand in his face, not getting egregious, simply opening her mouth after being told to shut up and threatened that she's going to be knocked out, that the fact that she kept talking was what she did wrong. That in itself is disrespectful. And I have a particular issue with men who think this way. And I'm going to tell you why. Okay? I'm going to tell you why. I have a problem with that because I don't think that you're thinking that through. Okay? What you're saying is that black women ultimately should submit to oppression because there is no honor in a man threatening to knock a woman out who he doesn't even know. We have to think about this from a logical perspective. This is not his business. He has no authority over her. He is not her man. He is just Joe Blow from off of the street. So you're telling me that Joe Blow off the street has authority over black women? Has authority to tell black women, can literally walk up to any black woman on the street and threaten her, ball his fists up and tell her if she says anything else, he's going to knock her out, that she should listen to him. And that if she doesn't, there is something somehow wrong with her? No, there is something wrong with you. There is something wrong with the way that you are thinking about that situation. That is the reality. Okay. Some of y'all, maybe y'all are living in the wrong country. Maybe you're living in the wrong time period. This is 2023 and we live in the United States of America. And according to the law, women are a protected class. Now you're going to say what next? I know I can hear the insults from a mile away. Oh, you're a simp. Oh, you're this and that. No, brother, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not. I grew up in a very traditional household. I grew up in a household where my mother, my grandmother never worked. My father, my grandfather provided all income for the household. But I have a balanced viewpoint. Do you understand what I'm saying? In other words, female submission does not come through oppression. The way that you get to the result of perfect unity and perfect balance in a relationship, it does not come through submission. It does not come through oppression. A woman showing love, a woman being, caring and loving and supportive and all those things is not a result of a man beating on her. It's not a result of a man threatening a woman. It's not the result of tyranny or oppression. And I think, or any form of abuse. So I think you brothers have that wrong. So here's the other thing people will say in light of what she did wrong. What did she do wrong? Well, other people will say, she told her son to get the gun. And we've already disproven that. Okay. So the last thing that you guys can say is, well, the boy shouldn't have had access to the gun and woo-dee woo-woo. I'm going to keep it 1,000 with you. Okay. I got plenty of guns. Okay. And I'm going to be honest with you. The child, it ain't that the child shouldn't know where the gun is or that the child shouldn't have access to the gun. Because we're talking about a 14-year-old, not a 5-year-old. Okay. What it truly is that the boy should be proficient and should know how to use it and when to use it. Okay. Because the reality is by law. In that situation, anyone had the right to protect that woman up to the point of shooting. Because most people, if we talk about a jury of people, irrespective of race or gender, most people will say a grown man balling his fists up and repeatedly punching a woman in the head has the risk of killing her. And because those punches could bring about that type of harm to her, then anyone would have the right to protect her life up to the point of shooting this man using AKA deadly force. That is law. Regardless of how you might feel about that, that is the law. That is the law on self-defense. Women have the right to protect themselves, family. Women have the right of self-defense. So, does the fact that the boy knew where the gun was make her a bad mother? No, it does not. Maybe they've had conversations about where the gun was and in what situation to use it. Clearly, that boy understood the right way to do it because he did it to a T. He did it perfectly. He could have brandished it when the man balled his fist up at his mother, to be honest. He could have told the man to back the hell off when when the woman balled her fist up, when the man balled his fist up at his mother. And anybody else could have done that as well, legally. Okay. But he gave that man a chance, as I said in the other video. 2 punches later, only after two punches did this boy shoot that man. Okay, so to say that she's a bad mother because the boy knew where the gun was or the boy shouldn't have had access to it, that's a lie, family. That can be subjective. That can be interpreted either way. But a 14-year-old boy should be able to protect their house from an intruder. Think about this. If an intruder were to come into your house, would you say that your 14-year-old should not be in position to protect the family? I'm just saying. Now, yes, there should be a man there who can do it. But in this case, and in the case where there is no man, should a boy who is 14 be trained and know how to access the weapon, load the weapon, safely use the weapon to protect his household? I, as someone who owns plenty guns, say the answer is yes. The boy or if it doesn't matter if it's a boy or girl, any capable person of a decent age, 14 for me is okay, of a decent age, should be able to protect where they live, protect their property, protect the livelihood of their family, 100%. And guess what? I believe that most Americans would agree with that. A jury would agree with that. And in this case, a judge, a magistrate, maybe a district attorney agreed with that as well. OK, now, the other argument, and I want to talk about this before I talk about Dennis Sperling specifically. The other argument is, well, they only got off because it was a black man. And, oh, I've heard you guys say all kinds of things. Well, oh, if it was a white male, if the man was white, I believe, and her son shot and killed him, I don't even think the black men would have even made an issue of it. I think the conversation would have been completely different coming from the mouths of black men. They wouldn't have had the same talking points. They're only crying. And I think a lot of these guys are only having an issue because a black woman killed a black man. I'm not offended by that. When I look at the actions of this man, I can separate myself from him. What? I have no emotional connection to this guy. He's a black guy. Okay, cool. I wish him the best, but clearly he made some bad decisions on this day that cost him his life, and then they want to blame the black woman. I don't understand, you guys. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that narrative. And now that the facts have come out, I wonder, will you guys apologize? Will individuals like Dennis Sperling apologize for lying on this woman, for lying and trying to assassinate the character or the image of black women? Of course he won't. Of course he won't. See, this is a revelation for all of us, for all of America, but particularly for us within the black community, okay, to re-examine who we call leaders within our community. Re-examine who you follow. Re-examine the message, the real message behind the people that you listen to, that you ascribe to. See, last year, 2 years ago, I made videos about Cynthia G and some of the toxic crap that was coming out of, her platform. Okay. Number one, I understand why now people like her exist. Not that I'm trying to co-sign her message, but it is because of some of the mentalities of some of these black men, these black males. They are the reason why women like her even exist. OK, so we as men, like y'all as men, all of us collectively, we have work to do. Even you, Mr. Sperling, you have work to do. OK, your subscribers should be ashamed of themselves. The 2,000 people who liked your post of lies about Miss Hood should be ashamed of themselves right now. OK, and the rest of us who didn't like but are observing, we have to take note. We have to take note of these moments to understand the mentalities of certain people who we have to look out for, who we have to watch out for, who's going to come with division and spread division and lies in our communities. OK, it should not be tolerated. And you cannot talk about, it's like, man, let me speak for real to you guys. All right. And this is the part where, if you like G-rated messages, please turn this off. OK, I'm going to be 100 now. I got to be 100. Listen, this part of the reason why no men respect black men. Guess what? It ain't because of the color of your skin. It ain't because of the color of your skin. It's because some of y'all are dumbasses and cowards. OK, and you're sellouts. You will sell your people out for a piece of change. When you look at American history, just look at American history. You can see very clearly that very few black men have really been about that action, really been about that life for their people. Most of the time they sell out for a dollar bill. Usually they're going to sell out for some trinket. They're not going to cross the finish line, okay, because of fear, because they know what's going to come with that. So they'll get to a point where they start getting some perks and they'll settle for the perks. They'll settle for the trinkets, okay? They're not going the full distance for the people, okay? They're going to see some oppression, okay, that's some difficulty in dealing with certain black women. So they'll turn to they'll turn some other way. Well, we can build a whole new black community with some other group of women. That's what we're going to do. Family, these guys can't be trusted. OK, because in the process of you doing that, these guys are showing that they're willing to assassinate the character of any type of black woman. So just the same way all black men ain't the same, all black women ain't the same either. OK, so stop assassinating the character of your brothers and sisters. How about that? And on another level, I feel like some of you black males like to pick on who you perceive to be weak, which in this case is black women. You are picking on women. And a lot of y'all don't even realize it. You are oppressing women. You won't go compete with other groups of successful men. You don't want to put the work in that they put in to get the result that they got. You're not willing to do that. But you will talk about black women and make it seem like it's all their fault that you can't accomplish what you want. Stop bitching. Stop being a little bitch. Go compete. Real men go get what they want. They take what they want. Not from women, fool. From the world, from men. See, and so some of y'all just want to take from women. You just want to oppress women because you don't have the balls, you don't have the heart, you don't have the intelligence, you don't have the skill, you don't have it to go compete with other groups of men and be successful, to compete in this world, right? So you want to go pick on the weak. And this is what I see a lot of these guys doing. And it's incredibly sad. And that's why a lot of groups of men don't respect y'all. They don't respect you because of how you act, not because of the color of your skin, but because of how you act. See, and here's the thing. Men are willing to have the conversation as long as it benefits them. So men are willing to have this conversation about black women, right? And talk about their behavior and what they do wrong, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But you don't want to reverse it. You don't want to put the mirror up to yourself and be like, damn, like what's going on with black males now? You niggas want to sit around and talk about women, right? As if that's making you a better man. Imagine that. You sit around talking about women as if that's making you a better man, preparing you more to go get out in this world. No, you just want shit to be easy. You just want shit to be easy for you. You don't want to put the work in. You have to realize our current condition is one that, yes, it's fucked up. Yes, it's kind of bad. We've inherited a lot of drama and crap. We've inherited a lot of nonsense from the days of slavery and beyond. We have inherited a lot of nonsense. I'll give you that, brother. But it's going to be up to you, I, and everyone else to figure out a way out of this that is honorable. That is honorable. And so if you want to get dishonorable, don't get mad when people like me come for you because you're a lying ass coward. I'm going to come for you. Leave black women out of it and deal with yourself. And if you're going to bring up black women, it's cool. I ain't going to be tripping if what you're saying is true because there is a lot of nonsense from certain black women. But when you see a black woman getting victimized in the street by a Pookie, clearly, and you want to defend the actions of Pookie, you're defending Pookie and assassinating the image of this black single mother on the south side of Chicago, bruh. Oh, no, family. That's where you've gone too far. And that's when voices like me going to speak out. And for the last thing I'm going to say is this before I get out of here, because I got to now represent for real, since I'm already representing. Like, yo, I heard somebody come on my channel talking about, I'm doing this. I'm pandering to women for views. I'm pandering to women. Family, I need y'all to understand this. I don't have a YouTube channel for views. Okay? Listen, I'm not trying to brag or whatever like that. But first of all, YouTube ain't paying like that. Second of all, I'm already paid. Okay? So don't come to my channel talking about, oh, he doing this, then the third. Stop, bruh. You don't go look at my community tab. Look at my community tab. Okay? What do I do for a living besides day trade and invest in the stock market and invest in real estate and do all these things? What do I do besides that? Okay, because y'all, when I first moved into the community where I live, people said, oh, well, you must be silver spoon fed because how I pulled up and how I did certain things. I was making certain moves. People thought I was silver spoon fed. No. Okay. I came from a very low income family, been broke, been poor for a long period of time in my life. I came up the hard way for real. Now, what did I do? Because I don't believe in following the crowd. Okay. I've seen black men follow the crowd and end up in jail, end up in the grave, end up in trouble. Okay. I don't follow the crowd. Okay. If I'm going to follow a crowd, I'm going to follow a crowd of winners. You understand me? I'm going to follow a crowd of great people. That's who I'm going to follow if I'm going to follow anybody. Okay. But what do I do for a living beyond all this other crap? Okay. I'm just going to tell y'all the truth for people who want to know. Listen, I've been I'm a senior software developer. For the last 6 years of my life, 6+ years, I've developed full stack applications. That's what I do for a living. Okay. That's what I do for a living. Okay. So you do the math on that. Say, I don't need this YouTube stuff. This is way deeper than money for me. Okay. This is something that I'm passionate about. And I believe in life that you're blessed to be able to do things that you are passionate about and to inspire people. Okay. That's important to me. Okay. This ain't got nothing to do with no money or views or none of that. But I hope that it's a few, one or two, however many it be according to the will of the Most High that hear this message and are given hope by this and are given encouragement by this, because that is what my father instilled in me. And I feel like it's the most important thing that he ever did for me was instill courage in me, instill realness in me, instill a foundation for me, and if any of that can brush off on my audience, on the people that follow me, to push them to be great in the things that they do, because your path is not going to be the same as mine, but to push them to be great in whatever they do, then God let it be. You feel what I'm saying? And that's what I hope to do. is to let people know that you're not alone out there. You see certain things going on, right, wrong, or indifferent. Listen, you're not alone. You might be one of the few people who feel the way that you do. But listen, you got another brother out there who understands where you're coming from and feels the way as you. You know what I'm saying? You're not alone. And so this is what I make this for. I'm not unreasonable on no side. I don't expect less from women than I expect from men. I do believe in a large extent to gender roles, but I don't believe in getting there through oppression. Okay? So that's the last thing I'm going to say on this. Hey, I would love to hear y'all comments about this topic of discussion. Till we chat again, it's Urban Politics, and I'm checking out on y'all. Deuce.